Carly from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for September 2021. So Monday, September 20th, we have our full moon taking place in Pisces. This is a big deal. First of all, full moon in Pisces taking place at 28 degrees. This is closing out a cycle that likely has been a tough love life lesson for us for the approximate last 4-ish years. Now, we have a couple of things to talk about. First of all, Monday is ruled over by the moon. Anytime we have a huge moon event taking place on Moon Day, you best believe it is going to pack an extra added punch. The full moon wants us to release. It wants us to end. It wants us to purge. It wants us to cleanse. It wants us to cut the cord. Now, what are we cutting the cord with? Well, Pisces energy, first of all, is karmic, is soul contracts, is definitely dreams, ideas, inspirations that we have not seen come into fruition. Now, the Piscean energy, although very positive with psychic abilities, with healing abilities, with intuition, with our higher selves, also is the shadow part of the collective. This is where lies and illusions, deceit, deception gets illuminated for us to actually see what's been going on behind closed doors, what's been going on in the inner workings of our subconscious, and illuminate these darker emotions and thoughts and topics and cycles so that we can do something about it. This is a water energy. Water energy is very emotional, very intuitive, very cleansing. Water transforms us. It is the only element that can go from a solid to a gas to a liquid and then back again. Just like, water, we can get frozen, we can evaporate, we can go with the flow as a liquid. And this Piscean energy is where endings and closures take place because it is the 12th house of the zodiac. It is where everything comes full circle, where we make some very interesting connections to our past pain, to our past trauma, to the life lessons and the life cycles that we just went through. And we cleanse ourselves, we heal ourselves, we align with our higher selves in order to prepare for a brand new beginning. This full moon in Pisces is smacked with a bunch of aspects that are really pushing us to not only see where it is that we want to move forward, but where it is that we've been prevented from moving forward by old past pain, old past trauma, old memories, old emotions, old flashbacks from this life and from previous lives. This Piscean energy is everything and nothing at the same time. It is all-encompassing. It is attached to everything, yet connected to nothing. It is connected to everything, yet attached to nothing. It is represented by the fish that constantly chase each other as if they were their own worst enemy, as if they were their best friend. I often like to say, what kind of fish are you, Pisces? Are you a Siamese fighting fish that will literally kill yourself thinking that you are the enemy? Or are you the great white shark, the ruler of the ocean? We all have Pisces energy within us. We all have Piscean energy in our chart. This full moon is illuminating for us where it is that we have to cut the cord, disconnect with old visions, old dreams, old soul missions, old soul contracts. There's a shakeup going on in the universe right now. We are only in the second quote unquote year of the Great Awakening. We are being really pressurized right now, really backed into a corner so that we can start illuminating some of these shadow parts in the collective. We are seeing that within ourselves. Some ugly parts of ourselves will be illuminated under this full moon energy in order for us to decide whether or not we're going to continue pouring in the victimhood storyline of our lives, or whether we are going to use those not so nice experiences that we've accumulated in our past to motivate us and inspire us to make a change, to move forward, to align with new people, to align with new missions, to align with a new dream, a new vision, and a new purpose. So this kind of energy, if you will, is very much tied into the greater, grander plan of what's going on here. We have this beautiful full moon taking place, purging us, cutting the cord, providing us with endings just in time for the battlefield to become even again. Why is that? Because we're about to have our equinox. Moving into Libra season triggers the equinox, and the equinox is when there is equal light to equal dark, equal day to equal night. This is a point in time where, yes, things have been a little bit crazy. Yes, things have been extreme. Yes, it had to be like that. It had to be confusing. It had to be overwhelming. Why? Because that is the only time as human beings we are willing to abandon what was and willing to step into what could be. As human beings, we typically only change when the pain and the suffering, the confusion, the doubt, the insecurity becomes too much. And we use those darker energies in order to motivate us to actually do something about some of the things that we're unhappy about. This full moon in Pisces is making some very powerful aspects to some major heavy hitting planets. I definitely recommend that you download your moon guide. I make sure that I sit down every single moon event and kind of write the best assistance, the best guide that I can to help you do the inner work necessary to align with the magical cosmic forces that be. This is a very important time. We are ready to shed our skin from the old. We are ready to step onto the even playing field that the equinox is going to bring, where new storylines are emerging, new soul contracts are emerging, new soul missions, new soul purposes are emerging. We made a choice back in July to either revolve in the same old, or evolve into something new. We've spent the last month and a half doing the detailed, logical, practical, strategic, calculated planning that we needed to do in order for our egos to get on board with what our spirit is already aligned with. We are ready to jump timelines. We are ready to jump storylines. We need to cleanse ourselves, purge ourselves, illuminate the subconscious parts of us, the unconscious, unaware parts of us that are energetically blocking our path forward. We have the tools, we have the wisdom, we have the knowledge to dive all the way into our spiritual practice, dive all the way in to using our energetic resources to solve some of the energetic and soul problems that we are facing. The full moon in Pisces sits across from the sun in Virgo. The sun in Virgo is trying really hard to keep us grounded, to keep us in this present moment, to focus in on what is. And this full moon in Pisces wants to bust free from this present moment, wants to just float off into la la land, wants to abandon what is and think about what could be. There's a huge amount of healing that takes place here, but it starts with the cosmic divine intelligence. We channel this through our higher selves. We bring it into our physical form. We acknowledge it in our mental plane and in our heart space. And then we can do something about it, backed by the Virgo energy of the sun. We're coming up with solutions. We need to find a balance between taking control and surrendering to the cosmos. We need to find a balance between staying in the present moment, dealing with the facts of what is, and giving ourselves permission to float off in space, to dream a bigger dream, to align with a vision of what could be. We have to blend our intuition with our logic. We have to find a medium, a stable grounding point where we can bring the magic of the cosmos, the metaphysical realm, into this physical realm. This is what grounding is all about. The sun in Virgo is always focused on what we can do in the here and now to rearrange, reorganize our daily thoughts, our daily habits, to focus on the wellness of our physical bodies, of our mind, body, and soul by being of service, by being a physical energy here in this physical realm to help ourselves and help others. The full moon in Pisces knows that there is an ancient wisdom, a higher knowledge, a divine script, a universal, greater, grander plan at play. And we need to find our highest selves, find our strong point in our spirituality, to allow the information to come into us from the higher realms of intelligence before we can root it in our physical body, before we can do something about it in that Virgo energy. So the full moon in Pisces is going to offer us a beautiful opportunity to cut the cord with some memories, with some emotions, with some narratives that are not encouraging enough for us to actually take a stand to move forward in our lives in the new path in which our heart and soul has already chosen, which our ego has done the work logically and practically to piece together the proper plan to move forward. And now we have the ability to amalgamate the two, to find a beautiful center point in between that earth energy of the sun in Virgo and the deeply transformative and intuitive energy of the water sign in the moon in Pisces. This is a beautiful time to do a balancing act between the two qualities and characteristics, preparing ourselves again for a clean slate that is coming mid-week.